Star of Ishtar. Mesopotamia, the cradle of civilization, gave birth to one of the earliest and most radiant emblems in history, the Star of Ishtar. Carved on temples and seals, the eight-pointed star represented Inanna, later called Ishtar, the goddess of love, war, and the morning star. Each point reflected the brilliance of Venus, her celestial form, rising and setting as a sign of divine rhythm. For the Sumerians and Babylonians, it symbolized power, passion, and the balance between creation and destruction. The star shone over cities and temples as a reminder that the cosmos was ruled not by chaos, but by the will of the gods. The Star of Ishtar became the heart of Mesopotamian faith, a beacon of divine light and the eternal cycle of renewal. It glimmered across ages as a symbol of beauty, strength, and the immortal fire of the heavens. Even now, it stands as a reminder that the oldest lights in the sky still whisper the wisdom of the first gods. Ankh. In the sands of ancient Egypt, where life and death intertwined, the Ankh stood as the ultimate symbol of eternity. It was shaped like a cross with a loop, often held by gods who offered it to pharaohs as the breath of life. Every tomb, temple, and sarcophagus bore its image, a promise that existence does not end at death, but flows into another realm. To Egyptians, the Ankh was both physical and spiritual, the union of male and female, earth and sky, mortal and divine. Priests carried it during rituals, and the living wore it as an amulet against darkness. Even thousands of years later, the Ankh remains one of the most recognizable icons on Earth, an unbroken circle of faith and life beyond the grave. In ancient India, the sages didn't carve their truth in stone, they sang it. The sound Om became the most sacred symbol of the Vedas, the vibration through which the universe itself was born. To chant Om was to align one's soul with the heartbeat of creation. It was said to contain all time the past, the present, and the future, merging them into one eternal resonance. Indian philosophers believed Om was the audible form of Brahman, the supreme reality behind all existence. Temples began and ended their prayers with it, and seekers used it to dissolve their minds into silence. More than a word, it was the universe breathing. A reminder that divinity begins not in heaven, but within sound, stillness, and self. Yin Yang. Where the West saw conflict between opposites, ancient China saw harmony. The Yin Yang symbol, a circle of black and white swirling together, revealed the essence of balance. Yin was the dark, soft, receptive force. Yang was bright, strong, and active. Together they formed the living pulse of existence. Every mountain and valley, every storm and calm sea reflected their cosmic rhythm. For Taoist sages, perfection was not stillness, but the eternal dance between light and shadow. When one side dominates, imbalance arises, but when both coexist, life flourishes. The Yin-Yang taught that wisdom is not about choosing sides. It's about seeing unity within duality, the peace inside change. Olive branch. In the bright world of ancient Greece, the olive branch stood for peace, wisdom, and divine favor. Legend says Athena, goddess of wisdom, gifted the olive tree to Athens as a symbol of prosperity. Its oil nourished, healed, and illuminated homes, making it both sacred and practical, a bridge between gods and men. Victors of the Olympic Games were crowned with olive wreaths, while soldiers laid down their arms beneath its shade. To the Greeks, it represented the triumph of reason over chaos, civilization over barbarism, and virtue over violence. The olive branch was not merely a plant. It was the soul of Greek humanity, graceful, enduring, and ever fruitful. Eagle. To the Romans, the eagle was not just a bird. It was the embodiment of Jupiter, king of the gods, and the spirit of the empire. Carried at the front of every legion, the Aquila soared above the battlefield as Rome's divine guardian. Its wings spread power and destiny, its gaze symbolized foresight, and its flight mirrored conquest. When a legion lost its eagle, it was considered a wound to the empire's very soul. But beyond military might, the eagle symbolized the Roman ideal, strength tempered by divine order. It was a reminder that empire, like the heavens, must be ruled by discipline and vision. Even centuries later, the eagle remains a mark of authority and empire, Rome's eternal shadow upon history. Star of David. Among the ancient Hebrews, the Star of David became a symbol of divine unity and protection. Two interlocking triangles, one pointing upward, one downward, represented heaven and earth, spirit and matter, the eternal bond between God and his creation. Though it rose to prominence much later, its roots stretched deep into mystical Judaism, where it symbolized the balance between divine justice and mercy. The star appeared on shields, scrolls, and temples, standing as a beacon of identity and faith amid centuries of exile and hardship. To the Hebrew people, it was not merely geometry, it was destiny drawn in lines of light, a promise that God's presence is not confined to temples or kings, but lives within every soul that remembers the covenant. Faravahar. In the ancient Persian Empire, the Faravahar became the most enduring emblem of Zoroastrianism, the world's first monotheistic faith. Depicted as a winged man emerging from a circle, it represented the divine soul striving toward light. Its raised hand reminded followers to pursue truth. Its 3 layers of feathers stood for good thoughts, good words, and good deeds. The central ring symbolized eternity, the endless cycle of existence, guided by moral choice. To the Persians, the Faravahar was not just religion, it was identity. It taught that the purpose of life is not to worship blindly, but to walk the path of righteousness. Even today, the symbol glows proudly in modern Iran, a timeless echo of spiritual wisdom from the ancient world. Chrysanthemum Seal. The chrysanthemum, Japan's imperial symbol, traces its petals to the sun goddess Amaterasu, the divine ancestor of emperors. With 16 radiant petals arranged in perfect harmony, it represents purity, renewal, and the eternal continuity of the imperial line. Worshippers saw in it the rising sun itself, Japan's living emblem of order and enlightenment. Used on thrones, shrines, and royal documents, it reminded rulers that their power was not ownership, but stewardship of divine light. The chrysanthemum symmetry spoke of discipline and grace, a living reflection of harmony between heaven and earth. Even now, it adorns Japan's national crest, a flower that never fades, symbolizing the beauty of immortality through duty. Hunab Ku. Deep in the jungles of Central America, the Maya revered Hunab Ku, the one god symbolized by a spiral of black and white that mirrored the cosmos itself. They saw it as the source of all creation, the center of time, energy, and consciousness. Hunab Ku was the heartbeat of the galaxy, the point where all opposites merge, life and death, male and female, dark and light. For the Maya, to understand the symbol was to understand balance. It adorned temples, calendars, and sacred cloths, reminding them that the universe is not chaos but rhythm. Even in ruins, the symbol survives, a cosmic mirror of unity, harmony, and infinite motion. Triskelion. The Celts saw life as a spiral, as eternal, flowing, and ever-changing. Their Triskelion, 3 interlocked spirals moving in one motion, embodied this sacred rhythm. Each curve represented a triad: life, death, and rebirth, land, sea, and sky, mind, body, and spirit. To the Druids, it was a sign of progress that existence is not a straight path, but a dance of cycles. Carved into stones and jewelry, it reminded warriors and poets alike that balance lies in motion, not stillness. The Triskelion became a portal of understanding, a way to see divine order within life's constant turning wheel. Thunderbird. Across North America, the Thunderbird reigned as one of the most powerful spiritual beings. It was said to live above the clouds, creating thunder with its wings and lightning with its eyes. To many tribes, it symbolized protection, strength, and the raw power of nature itself. The Thunderbird was both guardian and teacher, bringing rain to renew the earth and storms to cleanse it. Totem poles, drums, and masks bore its image, calling its spirit during ceremonies. It reminded people that power without harmony destroys, but power guided by respect sustains all life. The Thunderbird soared not just through the skies, but through the hearts of those who believed that the divine speaks in thunder, wind, and rain. Its roar was the voice of creation itself, a reminder that every storm carries the promise of the new beginnings. Even today, its legend lives on as a symbol of courage, freedom, and the eternal spirit of the natural world. And if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.